Introduction. Observing an orange can be one of the most difficult yet enjoyable tasks that any person can ever undertake. There are so many factors to consider, and so many different methods of natural thought. An orange can be an expression, and it is on the observer to realize this expression in a very personal yet subjective manner. One person may think that a particular object or expression may be artistic, whilst another thinks that it is simply garbage, and this is true while observing an orange. Then we must ask ourselves, what is the benchmark observation? Or is it all just a mere passing thought? From a personal notion, the observation of an orange is not only skin deep but much more. Main body. An orange has a very ball-like structure which when squeezed becomes deformed. They are very soft to touch and have a round but oval shape that flattens out at the top and bottom. As the name specifies, it is an orange-colored fruit with a very shiny outer covering. But sometimes the color of an orange also changes to reddish-orange. Before an orange becomes ripe, it is deep green in color. The orange color of the orange is extremely bright and never fades away with time. An orange is also a fruit with a very unique mouth-watering yet tangy smell. The shiny skin of an orange is known as the orange peel, and even though it appears to be very tough, it can be easily torn by simply using our hand. Once we open an orange after peeling of the outer covering, we will see that the entire fruit has been divided into a number of smaller intact segments. Each of these inner segments has a thin covering which holds the orange seeds and the pulp containing the juice together in it. Normally, an orange had around 10 segments, but the number can vary. The seeds of an orange are quite big and cream in color. Sometimes they are also known as pips. The orange fruit contains a large number of these seeds that are securely placed inside the smaller segments, and from these seeds we can grow an orange tree. Each of the smaller inner segments when opened reveals the juice of the orange contained in the small pulps and the seeds. The outer skin of an orange and the inner segments containing the pulp or juice are separated from each other by a white stringy layer known as the pith. This layer is loosely attached both to the outer covering and the inner segments, and thus, can easily be peeled off from the inner segments before consuming them. To reach the inner segments of an orange, one has to detach the skin from this pith so that the inner segments can easily be pulled out and then eaten as it is. When we touch an orange, it neither feels too hot or cold but is at room temperature. An orange is extremely easy to transport and store because of its relatively tough skin, which keeps the inside pulp completely safe and fresh. Thus, its skin acts like a natural container for the fruit. The outer covering of the orange gives the fruit an oval shape. It is very leathery to touch, and the entire outer skin is porous in nature. The outer skin of the orange or the rind can also be grated, which produce the orange zest. At first look, the orange looks just like other berries with a skin. But we cannot eat the actual fruit until and unless we remove the outer protective covering or the skin. It can simply be peeled away to expose the edible inner part, which we can consume easily. On taking a closer look at the orange, we see that at either the top or bottom of the fruit, there is a point, which is where the fruit has been separated from the tree. When we feel the entire orange in our hands, we will find that the whole outer covering contains numerous tiny hexagonal-shaped cells. In order to peel the outer covering of the orange, we need to find a dimple on the orange and then start to peel it from there. We then have to separate the inner segments and simply eat them. An orange has a very sweet and sour taste, but the taste of the outer covering, sometimes also called the rind, is extremely bitter. However, the outer covering of an orange smells almost the same as the inner segments and pulp. The white stringy layer or pith covering the inner walls of the rind is always discarded since it is of no use. An orange is among the largest citric fruits available in the world, but they also come in smaller sizes. Even with the seeds inside the fruit, it feels extremely fleshy and soft. If we squeeze the orange a bit too much, then the outer skin will break along with the inner segments and we will find the orange juice oozing out of the fruit. Conclusion. There are no strict guidelines for defining and describing an orange, nor will there ever be. Everything is in the eye of the beholder, but it doesn't matter whether the beholder is an artist or mathematician. As long as an individual keeps looking at an orange in minute and methodical manner, the forms and aesthetic values gain a newfound sense of identity. Such observation, not just confined to an orange, would make the world appear willing to live without being able to strictly define what an object is. StudyCorgi.com has everything you need for successful studies. Writing tools, informative articles, and essay samples. Come check it out.